Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to another episode of Propaganda with Mick and Jacob. Today's episode is a little shorter because we'll be diving into the topic of traditional conservatism. Is it a trend? Is it a fad? Or is it here to stay? Really slow news cycle, if you couldn't tell.
This is a good thing to talk about, though.
It is. No, it is.
It's kind of been like happening, I feel like, since COVID. COVID is what kind of kicked it off. That's when you had people like, oh, I don't trust the government. Oh, the vaccine. Oh, they're lying to us. They're telling us to stay home, put masks on, whatever. For a lot of people, they already knew all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of everyday people, everyday citizens, that was kind of like a wake up to them.
And the conservatives weren't so crazy.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, the conservatives weren't so crazy. Their conspiracy theories were actually being proved as truthful and just taking time to become true instead of just seeming like something crazy far off out there in the distance.
Mm.
So conservatism, it started as in the 2020s, right? We'll say not trusting the government, being a little bit more individualism, whatever, kind of fending for your family, that type of thing, Then I feel like now.
And also because of COVID, kids were at home and they weren't in school.
Yes.
And I think parents could actually see what they were learning at school and what they were doing. And then parents themselves were at home from work and the family was forced to be together. And they were like, well.
Right. So spending more time together, withdrawing from or getting outside in a lot of cases too, Yeah. Withdrawing from the business of regular life, spending more time with family, parents seeing the kids' situation in the schools, all that.
I think that totally did launch Gen Z into this obsession with traditionalism.
Right. So it's like you're staying at home in COVID, and then it's prepping, then it's food, then it's canned food, then it's guns, then it's being outside, survival,
it's
learning, bushcraft. Then it's all this stuff, which is, I like all those things, honestly, hunting, but it's like that, it kind of took a turn into doing all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And it also was following the same line or a similar line with how conservative the everyday citizen or the regular population was becoming, Now, fast forward to 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, you have trad wives in their aprons posting videos on TikTok of them making sourdough bread. I'm a 23-year-old trad wife. This is what I do while my husband's at work, whatever. Okay, some videos are great, some videos, whatever. The point of it is it real? Is it genuine? Will they be a traditional wife, if that's what you're going to call it? Will they be a traditional wife from here till forever? Or is this going to go away in 2 or 3 years? That's, I guess, the question we're going to try to talk about or maybe answer today.
Ding, ding, ding. We need a bell. We don't have a bell. Jacob. We have one side. We have Mick. And I think that it is absolutely a fad.
What, you do?
Yeah. I think you think it's not.
She's paid off.
Jacob.
Okay.
Turn it off.
I don't think it's, I think, okay.
I think if social media did not exist, half of these women would not even be close to what they are now. I don't think they do it because they're interested in it. I don't think they're genuinely interested. I think they do it because social media tells them it's the popular, cool thing to do, and they like the attention they get from it.
True. But their attention is only in certain audiences, only in certain places,
And their circles.
So, right. So that's a big part of it. You're right.
It's like the cool thing to make sourdough. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think if anything was going to be a trend, awesome,
If half the girls stop doing it, though, is it just a trend? If the other half keep with it and it changes their entire lives and that's how they live? It starts as sourdough. And this is the liberals will hate this. I think conservatives will actually like this. It starts as sourdough and then it ends up as you're homeschooling your family of 4 and collecting the eggs from the chicken in the morning.
True. It's true.
Which people can hate on that all they want, whatever. And I know it's a little bit more you're drawing a line. But it's honestly.
But I think in 20 years,
that's the path it goes.
Not going to be 50-50.
True.
I think it's going to be a majority people will not stick with it. I really, really do. Because they did not experience their 20s in the way that the world tells them to experience their 20s.
Think about it this way, though.
So
think about it.
Hey,
I slurred. Think about it this way though. What if they are traditional right now and they settle down and get married to a traditional man, let's just say a husband and a wife. Like what is that? But a traditional wife and a traditional husband, right? They settle down, get married, and have kids. They are going to be perfectly content and happy and good in that situation. That's not a trend, you know? Some people, like you're saying, yeah, might do it for the clicks and might rush into it and might regret it later. Of course that happens. It happens with everything. But it's like, are enough of those people already just taking the step to getting married or having kids or moving out of their parents' house or, you know, settling down somewhere? Are enough people doing that to where like it's not a trend? It'll just become their lives.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think enough of them have the heart for it. I really, really don't. I really don't. I think they like the attention that it gets them from social media, but also other men.
So it's attractive that men would want a traditional wife.
No, that's not what I said.
But their men are giving her attention?
Not the right attention.
What could be a better form of attention than, wow, that girl seems really mature and grown up and steady and grown into herself
because
and is ready to settle down and be
herself
and marry me. You know,
she's
what could be more attractive than that?
Persona to attract men. That's pick me.
No,
that's pick me. Yeah.
Some of them.
See, I'm arguing a majority of them are. I see right through it. I see right through this BS. I do. I'm sorry.
But there's not even that many people doing it. Like the sourdough thing, that's a separate trend. Like I'm saying, the sourdough started as like the trad wife conservative trend. Now sourdough itself is just a trend. Okay, forget sourdough. Now we're talking about you want to raise the kids at home with homeschooling. You want to have some animals. You want to live out a little bit further from the city, like that type of thing. Like I would say that's still somewhat popular with girls.
Yes.
In the conservative movement, not everyone.
No, but that's my thing is that it's not even just the conservative movement. It's like people that aren't conservative. I know a lot of liberal people that suddenly are interested in homemaking, in homeschooling, in things that
it's working.
in things, and it's not a bad thing. I'm just arguing. I think it's BS. I do. I think people do it for attention and they just kind of follow the crowd. People are sheep. They really are. We saw it with COVID. You did not think that people would be that easy to manipulate. They are. And if it changes a few lives, that's awesome. It's a good trend. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's like
but I think dangerous. What this does actually is it like compounds and women will be more traditional and more conservative because they actually are falling into that. And also, like you were saying too, they might want to do that to attract the right husband. And the right husband will make himself traditional and conservative and grounded to find and attract and look out for the right wife. Like I think, yeah, there might be some cases where it doesn't work out or some cases where it goes south or some cases where they rushed into it for social media or attention or whatever. But I think it's probably actually better than not. Like it's better to have it and see where it goes and see the downstream effects of it than it is to just like, oh, she's making sourdough and she'll be done with that in 3 years when it's not a trend anymore.
The pendulum always swings is my point.
Maybe.
It always does. There's always a point where it goes the other way. Not even 3 years ago. Not even 3 years ago.
Continue. I got something to say. Continue.
You couldn't even say the N-word.
What?
In the comfort of your own home without it somehow someone filming it and it being posted and your life is ruined. You're done for.
Now you have like celebrities and streamers and people saying it all the time, whether it's a joke or in a song or on purpose.
Yep.
And like the power of it, the word, has gone down. Same thing with the cancel culture because the cancel culture started to happen so much and then also it started getting applied to the left and they didn't like it, you know?
Yeah.
And then you had like the Charlie Kirk stuff with like his shooting or his assassination and then the reaction to it, you know, all that stuff, like where it swings so far back. Like I know what you're saying, the cancel culture, all that.
The pendulum swings.
But the pendulum of women not being traditional, women being girl bosses that work for themselves and are out in the real world, earning their own living, don't need no man. Like that pendulum has been about 60 years. The 6,000 years that came before that, it was not a trend. So you tell me what the real trend is. Is the real trend traditional women in conservatism and motherhood and in the like people are gonna say, whoa, sexism, whatever. It's the same thing on the other side. Traditional manhood and being a father and helping and working for your community and your family, you know, like that's the same thing too. But what's the trend? Feminism that's been created by the left wing, the far left for the last 60 years and has slowly become more and more detrimental to like society and to women and to men and to the family thereof. Like, is that the trend, or is the trend the first thousands and thousands of years before where people lived how we would say today is traditional, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because because our roots, it's our default setting.
In reality, it's not tradition, it's just normal. Mm-hmm. What hasn't been normal is the last 60 years. What hasn't been normal is the last 80 years. Like whatever you want to say that time frame is. But
ooh, I don't know. I
don't know.
I think it'll fall apart pretty quickly. Quicker than you think.
No, because I think most girls that pick it up are somewhat serious about it. And again, I'm not saying it leads to the woman. I'm not saying it leads to this chick open carrying an AR-15 when she goes to her trip into town every couple, 3 months or whatever. But I'm saying it might lead to sourdough and family and kids and maybe homeschool.
Yeah, in a perfect world. But I mean, you're right. That is our default setting, but we're also sinful and we fall into the trap of wanting something that isn't meant for us.
So is working for women not meant for them? Is that sinful?
No. What did you just say? Saying. The crazy feminism. I think it's okay to vote and to work, but the crazy feminism where suddenly having babies is the bad thing.
Right. It's a punishment or something.
Yeah. It's a terrible life to be a mother and stay at home. That's what I mean. The crazy feminism of like looking down on other women who want to do that. No, I think it's fine that women have a job, Jacob. Please.
Careful what you ask for.
I know, right?
Right.
See, now you lost my train of thought. Because we're sinful, we always reach for something that isn't meant for us.
Okay.
And I think the point of Jesus coming is that things will get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
So I think we're in this really nice little comfy area where, okay, maybe it might be cool right now. I don't think it'll last. The women, they yearn for drama and they yearn for something outside of the household. It's true. You can see it in their eyes. And the proof of this, I'm going to sound a little kooky right now. The proof of this is this Brett Cooper and clavicular drama. This whole drama of, if you haven't heard of it, gosh, how do I even explain it without sounding crazy? Brett Cooper is a political commentator, and she went to New York City's Fashion Week. And Clavicular, he is a streamer. He like does insane things to make him look better. What is he like? Punch himself to
bone smashing
to find his jaw and whatever.
It's called bone smashing.
Jacob.
Yeah, and he's on a million different drugs. Okay, so he's a live streamer.
Yes.
She's a political commentator. She goes to see him. She's married. She has a kid. And she gives me.
And she's part of this trad wife household, homemaker.
Yeah.
She has a baby. She has a farm. She makes everything from scratch. Like, it's cool stuff. But she met Clavicular, and am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the drama between them, there was chemistry and there was sparks. And he ended up hating on her husband, Brett Cooper's husband, and she didn't really defend her husband. She got online and just kind of said, "Oh, it was nice to meet him," and and I don't know. It's just this weird like vibe. You have to watch the video. It was this weird vibe.
Okay, but what does that mean? She yearns for something outside of the house.
It's just proof of that. Trust me on this.
What is proof of that?
That the pendulum is gonna swing. These girls, these women, they're gonna get sick of the life that they've built for themselves, and they're gonna want to go and do something else.
You mean like she's gonna cheat on her husband?
Some might. Yeah.
Yeah, that's happening. Like, we're seeing that. Like,
there's. So you agree? You're looking at me like I have 3 heads right now.
You're confusing me and I think the audience.
Keep up, Jacob. Keep up.
I know what you're trying to say.
It's moving fast inside here.
Yeah. Okay. So they yearn for something outside the house. Okay. But if we can fix our culture and our society, women always had things outside the house that wasn't necessarily work. they had get-togethers and societal events and homeschool groups and church events and
we
outreach
will
events.
never return to that though, because
no, not in the same way, but they exist. You know they exist.
Yeah. What's your point? We're not on the same wavelength right now at all.
So yeah, I think what you're saying is like, I'm confused how the Brett Cooper thing makes it. I know what you mean, but it's like, I don't know.
You know what I mean, but you're confused?
I know what you mean, but it was a bad analogy.
No, it was a perfect analogy, and you all will understand one day when Mick, as usual, is right. When you have someone, it's the image that she's starting to carry herself in. When you have someone like Brett Cooper, the traditionalist, the conservative, the Catholic, she has a baby, she has a husband, she has a farm. When you have someone like her going to New York City's Fashion Week, and I'm not saying you can't do both, but when you have her doing this and you have her carrying this almost like this opposite image of what she's been doing for the past 5 years, how many years?
Yeah.
And then you have her around people like Clavicular. He's very vain, full of himself. Honestly, he makes his image his idol.
Yeah.
And then you have this drama, and she's not shutting it down. She's kind of feeding into it.
So I get what you're saying. I agree with that.
So I'm just saying,
understand what you're saying
it's like
now.
starting to unravel, and some of the core people that have held this image of traditionalism together are starting to move into this internet drama
personality. Yeah.
Like it's just the air that they're starting to carry themselves. And I'm not just trying to pick on Brett Cooper, but that was just an example that came to mind.
Yes, I get it.
Gosh, I have to read my thoughts, Jacob.
I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing. I actually think that's a really good point. I'm saying, and we might see people get more conservative over the next decade or the next presidential election, whatever. We might see more conservative. We also might see things like you're saying, the pendulum. We might see it shift back to the left and people become a little bit more liberal or a little bit more progressive again. You know, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying there is a solid enough group. There is enough women. There's enough men, conservative, traditional, whatever you want to call them, based, that are interested in starting this lifestyle and this life together. And they're doing the proper things to like make that life happen.
Okay.
And I think people are getting married younger. They're having kids younger. They're moving out of their parents' house younger. They're getting jobs, you know? I actually think that's a good sign. And
I'm not saying it's not.
I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying that's a good sign. And I also think that just because it might be a trend for some people to get involved with it doesn't mean they actually won't like it or stick with it or turn it into their life, you know? You might have the trad wife fiasco like Brett Cooper or someone else. It's been happening actually a lot in the news. So we can talk about that another time. But, you know, you might have cases like that. But it doesn't mean a lot of the women that weren't actually convinced or weren't actually serious about changing their beliefs and values, you know? That's all I have to say.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, this week was a shorter episode of us just kind of chatting about our thoughts when it comes to conservatism and traditionalism. It has been such a trend recently, especially with Gen Z. I don't know if it's really reached the millennials quite yet, but Gen Z, absolutely.
Yeah, men and women.
Men and women. It'll be interesting to see over the next 20 years which way the pendulum does swing. If it stays where it's at, if it becomes even more conservative, or if this group of people kind of loses their touch and they're like, you know what, that's not meant for me. It's like, I think will happen.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see who's right. But thanks for tuning into this episode of Propaganda. We'll see you Friday. Have a great rest of your week. And as always, thank you for listening. It'd be great if you could leave a review. It helps get the podcast out, and follow us on all socials. Have a good one.